There are agencies right now making 70 to 80% profit margins. And then there's agencies doing the exact same work and making 10 to 15%. Same services, same clients, same industries. The difference? It isn't talent. It's not hustle, it's not experience, it's which side of 5 technology shifts they landed on. And here's what's wild. Most agencies don't even know these shifts are happening. They feel it though, that weird sense that something's off, that the old playbook isn't working like it used to, but they can't name it. Today, I'm going to name the 5 specific shifts that are splitting the agency world in 2 right now, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which side you're on. 3 years ago, Google gave every website running Universal Analytics a deadline. Migrate to GA4 or lose your data. Simple enough, right? Well, according to industry research, 81% of GA4 migrations were misconfigured. Not because people didn't try, because they treated it like a checkbox instead of infrastructure work. Broken event setups, missing conversions, years of historical data just gone. I watched this happen in real time. I taught Google Analytics for over a decade. I saw who moved early and who scrambled after the deadline. I saw who treated it seriously and who assumed they'd figure it out later. And here's the pattern I keep on seeing. A major technology shift gets announced. It seems manageable, but people put it off because the current thing still works. Then the deadline hits, or worse, the market shifts without a deadline, and suddenly everybody's scrambling to catch up. The ones who moved early, they're fine. The ones who waited, they're starting over from zero while their competitors are already 3 years ahead. The pattern is happening again, right now, 5 times over actually. Only this time, it's not just your analytics at stake, it's your entire business model if you're a digital marketing agency. Now here's how I know this is real. I recently ran an agency blueprint workshop on these 5 shifts, and something weird happened. People who've been running agencies for 10, 15, 20 years, they signed up. These are people who never buy courses, never attend workshops. They've been doing this so long, they usually say, I don't need that. But they showed up for this one because they feel it. The ground is shifting. And for the first time in a long time, even the veterans feel vulnerable. Now, here's what I need you to understand about these 5 shifts. This isn't Web 2.0. Back then, everything changed overnight. Websites went from being a hobby to being a business. Entire industries got created out of thin air. It was obvious. It was exciting. It was impossible to ignore. This is different. These 5 shifts, they're not revolutionary like that. They're evolutionary. They're building on things that have been around for a while. Privacy regulations, first-party data, AI, server-side tracking. None of this is brand new. And that's exactly why people think they can ignore it. I've heard about all this stuff for years. It hasn't killed my business yet. I'll deal with it when I have to. Sound familiar? Here's what they're missing. The old playbook was throw bodies at the problem. Hire more people, outsource offshore, scale with labor. That's how you grew an agency. That's how you delivered more services. And that's why margins got squeezed, because your biggest cost was always people. The new playbook is completely different. Automation, AI, systems and processes that allow humans to do twice as much work or 10 times as much work in the same amount of time. The revolution isn't in the services themselves. The revolution is in how you deliver them. Same services, but now one person can do what used to require 10. Your costs collapse, your margins explode, and you're not managing a team of 15. You're orchestrating systems with a handful of A players. That's the hidden shift. That's why some agencies are hitting 70 to 80% margins, while others are grinding at 10 to 15% doing the exact same work. Same services, completely different economics. And if you're only paying attention to what's new in the marketplace, you're gonna miss the revolution that's happening right now in delivery. Okay, so if you're getting value from this breakdown, hit subscribe. I'm doing a whole series on these shifts, including how to actually build and sell these services. Let's start with the shift that's already hitting your bottom line, even if you haven't connected the dots yet. First-party data. Signal loss, the slow death of tracking as we know it. Now, you might be thinking, wait, didn't Google reverse course on killing cookies? Aren't we safe? That's exactly what most agencies thought, until they were wrong. Here's what actually happened. Google didn't save cookies. They handed the decision to users. User choice, they called it, which sounds harmless until you realize what it means in practice. People opt out, a lot of them. 50 to 60% of your website visitors are now invisible to traditional tracking. They don't show up in your retargeting audiences. They don't get attributed to your campaigns. Your metapixel can't see them. Your Google ads can't optimize for them. And this creates a cascade effect that most agencies don't fully understand. First, your attribution breaks. You can't see which campaigns are actually driving revenue, so you start making decisions based on incomplete data. Then your algorithms degrade. Meta and Google need conversion signals to optimize. Fewer signals means dumber optimization. Your CPAs creep up. your ROAS drops, and you can't figure out why. Then your retargeting collapses. That warm audience you've been nurturing, half of them aren't in your pixel anymore. 71% of businesses now say signal loss is directly hurting their revenue. Not might hurt someday, hurting right now. So, what do the smart agencies do? They stop fighting for third-party data and start building first-party data infrastructure. Server-side tracking, conversion APIs, customer data platforms, systems that capture data directly with consent instead of relying on browser cookies that may or may not exist. And this is the new service offering, data infrastructure, not as a one-time project, but as ongoing management. And if you're thinking, that sounds technical, yeah, it is, which is exactly why clients will pay for it. Now, I'm breaking down exactly how to position and sell first-party data stack as a service in a video coming up in 2 weeks. The pricing, the deliverables, how to talk about with clients who don't understand the technical side. But for now, just understand this shift has already happened. The question is whether you've built the infrastructure to survive it. Shift 2 is related to Shift 1, but it's got teeth. Privacy regulations. And before you tune out thinking, yeah, GDPR, I've heard this for years, listen closely. We're not in the compliance theater phase anymore. We are in the enforcement phase. Here's what changed. The US now has a patchwork of 19 different state privacy laws. This isn't just California anymore. Texas, Florida, Oregon, Montana, states you wouldn't expect are now passing aggressive privacy legislation. And they're not messing around. GDPR fines hit $1.2 billion in 2025 alone. That's a billion with a B, and the US is catching up fast. I'm already hearing it in our community at Measure U. People are getting letters. Their clients are getting fined. Compliance violations showing up out of nowhere. This is the canary in the coal mine, and it's only going to accelerate because now there are automated tools, AI-powered, scanning websites and firing off violation notices at scale. What used to require a human lawyer now runs on autopilot. But here's what really matters for agencies. Universal opt-out mechanisms are now mandatory in multiple states, and that means browsers and devices can automatically signal, "Do not track me," and you have to honor it. The result, 47% average consent rate. More than half of your audience is invisible by default, not because they manually opted out, because their browser did it for them. And here's where it gets uncomfortable for agencies. Clients are waking up to their liability. They're starting to ask questions. Some are demanding indemnification clauses, meaning if something goes wrong with the data handling, the agency is on the hook. You heard that right. The liability is transferring from client to agency. So what's the opportunity here? Privacy as a service. Consent rate optimization, making sure that cookie banner isn't tanking your opt-in rates with bad user experience. Zero-party data strategy, getting customers to willingly hand over information because you're giving them value in exchange. Compliance audits, being the one who keeps clients out of trouble instead of the one who gets blamed when trouble shows up. Most agencies see privacy as a headache, a thing that makes their job harder. The smart ones see it as a service line. Now, by the way, I've put together a list of 99 services that agencies and freelancers can offer in this new landscape. Data services, AI services, privacy services, the whole thing. If you want the full breakdown, just drop a comment below that says services and I'll send it to you. Shift 3 is the one that's going to mess with your head if you've built your business on SEO. Search is fragmenting, and the old playbook, rank on Google, get traffic, convert visitors, is breaking down. Here's what's happening. Gartner predicted a 25% drop in traditional search volume, and that prediction is validating right now. 60% of searches now end without a click. On mobile, it's 77%. People get their answer right there in the search results and never visit your website. And that was before AI overviews. Now, when Google shows an AI-generated answer at the top of the page, organic click-through rates drop 47 to 60%. Even if your content gets cited as a source in that AI answer, only about 1% of people actually click through to read the original. Let that sink in. You can win. You can be the source and still get almost no traffic from it. So what does this mean for agencies selling SEO? It means top-of-funnel content strategy, the kind where you publish a bunch of blog posts to drive traffic. It's dead as a traffic driver for the most part. Not dying, dead. The traffic just isn't coming like it used to, and the traffic that does come is getting thinner every quarter. So what's the opportunity? Answer engine optimization. This is about optimizing for visibility and citation in AI-powered answers, not just traditional rankings. Entity optimization, making sure that AI understands what your client's brand is and what it's known for. Vector-friendly content, structured in ways that AI systems can parse, understand, and pull from. The new metric isn't traffic, it's visibility. It's being the source that gets cited even if people don't click. Because here's the thing, that citation still builds brand awareness. It still establishes authority. It just does it differently than we're used to measuring. Agencies that cling to "we'll get you more organic traffic" are going to have a harder and harder time delivering on that promise. Agencies that shift to "we'll make sure you show up when AI answers questions in your space," those are the ones with the future. Shift 4 is the one that nobody wants to talk about because it's not sexy, it's not exciting, doesn't make for good LinkedIn posts, but it's the reason most AI projects fail. And I mean most. 60% of AI projects never make it to production. They get stuck in a pilot phase and they die there. 95% of AI pilots fail outright. That's nearly double the failure rate of non-AI IT projects. Why? It's not because the AI is bad. The models are incredible. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, these things are genuinely impressive. The problem is the data. Garbage in, garbage out. Everybody knows that phrase, but somehow companies keep trying to build AI systems on top of data that's a complete mess. Duplicate records, missing fields, inconsistent formats, CRMs that haven't been cleaned in years, spreadsheets duct taped together with formulas that nobody understands. You can't build a skyscraper on a swamp. And right now, only 12% of organizations have data sufficient for AI. 12%. The other 88% are trying to force it anyway and wondering why their AI initiatives keep on stalling. Now here's the business case that makes it real. Poor data quality costs companies an average of $12.9 million a year, not in missed opportunities, in actual operational costs. Fixing errors, manual workarounds, bad decisions based on bad data. So what's the opportunity? Data hygiene services, CRM stewardship, cleaning up the mess, building systems that keep data clean going forward, AI readiness audits, going into a client's business and telling them honestly, here's what needs to happen before any AI project will actually work. This is the picks and shovels of the AI gold rush. Everybody wants to sell AI solutions. Nobody wants to do the boring work of making these solutions actually function, which means there's a massive gap in the market for agencies willing to do the unglamorous stuff that makes the glamorous stuff possible. Shift 5 is the big one. This is where the margins come from. This is where the economics of running an agency completely flip. AI agents, not just chatbots, not AI assistants, not ChatGPT, but for customer service, agents, autonomous systems that actually do the work and put a human in the loop. Now here's the difference. A chatbot answers questions, an agent completes tasks. It logs into systems, it pulls data, it makes decisions based on rules you set. It executes workflows end to end without a human babysitting every step. And this market is exploding. $182 billion projected by 2023. 80% of enterprise apps will have agentic capabilities embedded in it by the end of 2026. This isn't some far-off future. It's already being built into the tools you use every day. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable for a lot of the people in the industry. Freelancers in exposed industries are already seeing a 2% decline in contracts and a 5% drop in earnings. That might sound small, but it's just the beginning. The hollow middle is getting crushed. The agency is charging premium rates for what's become commodity output. The work that used to require a team, like reporting, data pulls, basic creative variations, campaign setup, basically all of marketing and a lot of analytics, can now be handled by agents. If your value proposition is we have people who do the work, you're competing against software. And software is cheaper and faster and doesn't take PTO. So what's the opportunity? AI ops, agent orchestration. Instead of being the person who does the work, you become the person who builds and manages the systems that do the work. You're not selling hours anymore. You're selling outcomes. And your cost to deliver those outcomes collapses because your labor is software. And that's how you get to 70 to 80% margins for all the services that I'm talking about here. One person orchestrating agents doing the work that used to require 10 people. Same output, fraction of the cost, and you're charging based on the value delivered, not the hours spent. This is the delivery revolution that I talked about at the beginning. The services haven't changed. The way you deliver them has changed completely. Now, quick reminder, if you want the full list of 99 services that you can offer in this new landscape, comment services below. I break down everything from AI agent development to data infrastructure to answer engine optimization. It's free, just comment and I'll send it over. Now there's a sixth shift that I didn't put on the main list. I'm saving the full breakdown for next week's video. But I want to give you a taste because this one is flying completely under the radar. AI-powered ads. Not ads created by AI, not use ChatGPT to write your ad copy, ads inside AI platforms. ChatGPT is rolling out advertising. Perplexity has sponsored answers. Microsoft Copilot is building ad formats into their AI assistant. Think about what that means. Right now, everyone is fighting over the same Google Ads inventory, the same meta placements, CPCs keep climbing, competition keeps intensifying, that platforms are mature and saturated. But AI platforms, brand new territory. Less competition, lower costs, and a completely different format. Sponsored citations, conversational recommendations, answers that feature your client's product. 54% of marketers say they're planning to increase investment into AI media this year, but most agencies haven't even started thinking about it yet, which means there's a window. The same kind of window that existed in Google Ads in 2005, with Facebook ads in 2012, with TikTok ads in 2020. Early movers get cheaper inventory and less competition. Everybody else pays the premium later. Next week, I'm breaking down exactly what these AI formats look like, which platforms are rolling them out, and how agencies can start positioning themselves now before it gets crowded. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. AI slop, it's all garbage. I've seen the output and it's not good enough to replace real work. And look, I get it. If your only experience with AI is asking ChatGPT to write a blog post and getting back something that sounds like a corporate robot having a stroke, I understand why you'd write it off. But here's what I need you to hear. That's the most primitive version of this stuff. That's 3 years ago. That's like judging the internet based on dial-up and deciding it's never going to be useful. What's happening now is completely different. In the last year alone, AI has replaced every single repetitive workflow in my business. Not assisted, replaced. And I'm not talking about writing blog posts. I'm talking about data processing, reporting, client onboarding sequences, research that used to take days happening in minutes, systems that can run without me touching them. The ceiling on what a small business can accomplish has been completely blown off. This is the most significant shift I've ever seen in how work gets done. And I've been in this industry for over 15 years. So if you wrote it off because of crappy AI-generated content, I'm asking you to look again. Because the people who are dismissing this, they're confusing their hobby for a business. Using ChatGPT to write a blog post, that's personal, that's playing around. Building systems that create something useful at scale, that's a business. And the people who understand the difference, they're building operations that will run circles around the competition within the next 12 months. So let's bring this back to where we started. 2 types of agencies, same services, same clients, wildly different margins. The difference is which side of these 5 shifts they landed on. First-party data infrastructure, it's not optional anymore. Privacy regulations, a service line, not a headache. Answer engine optimization because traditional SEO traffic is disappearing. AI-ready data, the unsexy work that makes everything else possible, and AI agents, the delivery revolution that flips the economics of running an agency completely upside down. And that applies to the previous 4 services. You can do them better, more efficiently, and more confidently than ever if you use AI agents and automation. The agencies that survive this, they look different. They're not selling hours, they're selling outcomes. They're not managing teams of 15, they're orchestrating systems. They're not fighting for the same clients at the same pitch as everybody else. They're offering infrastructure that clients can't build themselves. One person doing the work of 10. Margins that used to be impossible. And a business model that actually scales without burning you out. That's the new species. And here's the thing. This isn't some far-off future you can prepare for later. Every single one of these shifts is happening right now. This year. This quarter. The question is whether you'll adapt before competitors do. Last thing. I mentioned the 99 services lists a couple of times. If you want to see exactly which of these services map to each of these shifts, comment services below, and I'll send you the full breakdown. Data services, AI services, search services, privacy services, all of it. It's the same list that I use to help agencies figure out what to offer next in my agency blueprint program. Next week, I'm breaking down the AI-powered ads opportunity, the 6th shift that's flying under everybody's radar. And 2 weeks from now, I'm showing you exactly how to position and sell a first-party data stack as a service. If you're not subscribed yet, now's the time, because this is the roadmap for what's coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.